What's going on, guys? Northeast RC here. On the stand in front of me is the Arma Outcast 8S EXB. I bought this thing a couple weeks ago as a roller. I put a Hobby Wing Max 5 with an 800 kV motor and two Gen A 6800 LiPo packs. This thing is an absolute beast. Unfortunately, I broke the wheelie bar on it, so I got some parts. I'm waiting on some parts for this. I did a few upgrades to it so far, but there's going to be some extensive videos coming on this soon. And then also over here, I have my infraction. I ordered a bunch of stuff for this last night, so as the parts come in for this, we're going to do a little build on that, so stay tuned for that. But the star of the show today is the DB Tenacity Pro. I went out not too long ago and bought wheels and tires for this. These are the Proline Badland MX. And the problem is with these is they come with plastic hubs, and inside here we have 12mm aluminum hexes. I really don't like aluminum on plastic. You get a lot of play and a lot of oblong. You know, with the 3S power, it'll start to oblong them out a little bit, and they'll just get a lot of slop in them. So I'm not a fan of that. I like aluminum on aluminum. So I ordered the Proline aluminum inserts for this. And the problem is the hexes that are in there, they were too shallow. And what happened was you tighten it down and it would bottom out on the spindle and the wheel wouldn't turn. So on two of these, I had to take these centers out, and on my grinder, I had to grind them down. I got them to fit, so everything seems to be freewheeling. So we're just going to take this out in the front yard and just do a little bash with it today. Nothing crazy. You know, just rip it around on the front lawn and just see, you know, make sure everything's functioning properly and we don't have any binding going on like we did when we first put them on. I think I alleviated it. So if you do get these, just be mindful that your hexes might be too shallow. And when you tighten it down, if your wheel's galling up or binding up, you might have to grind those down. You could put a bigger hex in there, but you're kind of defeating the purpose. I like the thing to fit in there properly. So I just ground down the inner part of this hub, and now it fits perfectly. And there was only two of them that had to be done, so it wasn't a big deal. But again, we're just going to take it out in the front yard. We're going to try it out and see, you know, see how it goes. Hopefully it'll be all right. I think it will be. Over here we have a Power Hobby 5200 3S battery, charging on the high-tech Black Edition charger. So once this is fully charged, we're going to take it out front and we're going to give it a rip and make sure the form and function, everything works, and we'll be all good. All right, so let's get the Futaba 7PX out. Get ready to test drive the Tenacity DB Pro. Just turn it on. Make sure we got the right model selected. Model select. It's on DB Pro. All right, so we're good to go. Let's get the battery in the car and let's head out. All right, let's see if we can hit this hill with a little more speed. Yeah, there we go. A little bit of air over it. Let's turn around. Let's roll the power on a little slower because otherwise it breaks loose. There we go. I put a higher diff oil in this thing, but I still need to make it go a little higher. I didn't change the front. The front still got... I think I made a mistake and put 3,000 in the front instead of 30,000 or something like that. But I do have 100,000 in the center diff, and now I got 50,000 in the rear diff. I may just put 50,000 in the front and make it even that way. But again, with the 3S power, it breaks loose easy. It's got a lot of power. Whoa, 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 whoa. And back on its feet. All right, let's check the hubs. Everything still seems tight. We're good there. This thing just rips. I mean, on this 3S, this thing flies. When I had it on 2S, it was fast. But as soon as I put a 3S battery in this thing and changed the pinion out, big difference. This thing really came alive. So he just pulls the tires. If you just tap it on the pavement, I can flip it over. It's a little cold out, so I'm not getting good traction, but as you can see, it'll pop right up. There we go. Yeah, pull it right up. This thing's fun to drive. I don't have any AVC in it because I use a Futaba radio, which I don't need AVC in this. I can drive this pretty good. The only thing I need AVC in right now still is the infraction. But I'm looking to pull that out and use my Futaba for that too, because I like using one radio for everything. Makes it a lot easier. I just select what model I want to use and just go instead of worrying about carrying 10 different radios. But this upgrade was good. I like the fact that I put these aluminum centers in for these Prolines. Because again, I don't like plastic on aluminum. You're asking for trouble with that. Either stripping them out from the power, or like when I went to put the wheel back on and I tightened it down a little off and I crushed the plastic. That's not going to happen with aluminum because you're doing metal on metal. So that's why I went with that setup. And again, I'm happy I went with that setup. But yeah, it seems to be doing good. Now that I ground it down, everything fits, the car rolls. Before, when I used to drive it, you let off the gas and it would just lock right up. They were binding really bad. Two of them were probably machined a little differently. You know, quality control isn't that good. So I had to grind down two of them to make them work. And as you can see here, we're rolling pretty good. Pretty soon I'll have more of the yard to drive in once I get rid of that tree over there. That's going to get chopped up tomorrow. Got a buddy of mine coming over. We're going to chainsaw that thing up, split it, and use that in the fire pit. But so far so good with the Tenacity DB Pro and the Proline center hubs, aluminum. These tires are also bigger than the stock, which helped me out on the 3S Power a lot, because with the stock tires, you couldn't even give this thing a quarter throttle without the thing just spinning and going nowhere or getting out of control. I mean, the thing's still an animal even with these Badland MXs on it, but I can control it a lot better and get full stick on it, where I couldn't before with the stock ones on 3S anyway. But again, this thing rips. But pretty happy with it. Happy with this tire and rim combination. I do want to get the MX43s for my Outcast, but it's a couple $100 and I already spent a lot of money on parts so far for the infraction and the Outcast build itself. So, not now, but in due time I'll definitely probably get them. I know they're heavy, but that's okay. I'm not doing 40-foot jumps with that Outcast as of yet. Maybe we'll get there, maybe we won't, but as of right now, the stocks are good, so I'll just stick with those till they wear out. And these got a lot of wear on them actually already, guys, from just doing rips across the driveway and spinning the tires on it. So I got to be careful with these. These weren't cheap either. These Proline tires aren't cheap by no means. They're typically $20, $40, $50 more than other brands. See if we can get some air over this hill a little bit. Whoa! Pretty happy with the way this thing performs and handles. This is a good car out of the box. I don't have a lot of modifications done to this other than tires and rims, the 3S. I do got some aluminum parts in the front where the hinge pins are, because I broke those a few times. Other than that, this thing's pretty darn good, stock out of the box. It's not necessarily a basher, it's a track vehicle, but I have fun just tooling around in the front yard here with it. Like I said, with this 3S, it's got stupid power. It's hard to keep the thing straight on grass when you roll full stick on it. All right, so we're just out of battery there now. So maybe we got 5 minutes, 8 tops. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this. I think it's a success. I think the hubs worked out well. So until the next one, guys, keep bashing and building.